In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Yesterday, we started there looking at Genesis 1, and I just went with noting that the assumptions that there is a God, that he's all powerful, and that he had the ability to speak things into existence. I want to unpack that a little bit today. I want to think about the idea that God is the creator, that he is the starting point for everything that follows. So in the beginning, God. So God was already present at the beginning. He already existed. He is the uncreated creator. If something exists, right, then you say it either has always existed or it was started by something that existed. So used to be, we believed, that there was such a thing as spontaneous genesis, that something could come out of nothing. And the argument that got used for this for up until the scientific revolution was, among other things, bread mold or mold in general. Like you had nothing there, and now all of a sudden this stuff is growing. It just came from nowhere. They didn't understand about spores. So they used to think that there was this category where nothing could produce something. Now we say, no, that is not the way it works. We never see that happen. So if something exists, then you know that it is either eternal or it started at some point, and it was started. There had to be a cause for there to be this effect. So we say that God is eternal. And the universe, of course, is not. We see that it is expanding, and we see that it's burning up its energy, and we know that eventually the universe will burn through all its fuel, and it will go into heat death and all that. So, look, the point that the Bible is making here is that everything that exists because God created it. The heavens and the earth were created by God. So in the event that there's any doubt about this, it's just worth us pausing here to say that God is all powerful. It's making this claim that God is powerful. That'll be developed at other points in Scripture. God is powerful, and that God is not just powerful, but that it's all his. So these are two big themes. Again, we see them. They're part of this first Jenga block. If you forget about these, that God is the uncreated creator, and that he spoke everything into existence and claims all rights, that he's powerful in a very different way, and he claims all rights to everything that is his, then you don't understand what's going on in the Bible. So let me just note that in terms of the power stuff, so in the beginning, God, the Hebrew word that's used here is El, or sometimes in Genesis we have the word Elohim, the H-I-M, which is an English translation of the Hebrew terms, the way that something is turned into a plural form. So El is a Hebrew word, and it speaks of strength or might. It's a title. Excuse me. It's more of a title and a descriptor than it is a name. We don't get the name of God until later when he says to Moses, I am Yahweh, I am who I am. I will be who I will be, and that's more of his covenant. But we get this title for God in Genesis chapter 1, and it refers initially to his power and his strength. It is in the plural form, and although the verb there is in the singular tense, and that just speaks to this idea that God is triune, right? We get that right at the beginning. We'll see that, of course, in the beginning of the Gospel of John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We also get it in other ways. We're going to see that the Spirit was hovering over the face of the earth. So God is one God in three persons. We start to get that idea of the Trinity here. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Nothing was made without him was made. So we've got both Old and New Testament. We've got these affirmations that God is the creator. He's there at the very beginning. And also that he is triune. God will say later on, not in chapter 1, let us make man in our image. So we also have the idea introduced with that God is personal and conscious. He's not simply a force. He's one who speaks. We're going to see he's one who's in relationship. It is it's hard to move a millimeter in Genesis 1 without bumping into some important idea or doctrinal truth. So God exists. He's the sole creator. He's triune. He's personal. The point I'm trying to make here today is that he is powerful. So the creation that he created the heavens and the earth, the word for creation here is ex nihilo, and it's associated with the verb bara, the Hebrew word bara. And so what we get is that God creates out of nothing. And this is a kind of creation that is spoken of very infrequently, and it's not the kind of creation that we do. We start with something and we can create something, but we can't start with nothing and create something. So God is the only one who ever creates like this. And stop and think about what a big deal that is. Because we're going to see that this is an answer to one of the big questions that science can't answer. I remember being in third grade and talking to my uncle. I was trying to write a paper, and I don't know that this was on the Big Bang. I can't remember what it was about, but I remember asking him, what was there before there was nothing? Because he was sort of explaining, he's a geologist, he was sort of explaining that, how everything sort of expands and the universe is expanding, and the Big Bang and all this stuff. And I'm like, but what was there before that? We don't have an answer to that question. Well, what we know is that, again, nothing creates nothing. Nothing creates something. You hear people talk and say that the universe was created by chance. Now, chance is just a description of a mathematical probability. It doesn't have the ability to create anything, right? So what we have being established here in Genesis 1:1 is that God is the first cause. He is the uncreated creator, and he is powerful. Have a good day.